In general question, as you know, Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were friends. There are, of course, photos showing Donald Trump together with Epstein, correct?
I don't have the entirety of the photographs, but I think they've been photographed in public together.
All right. Are there any photos showing Donald Trump with girls of an uncertain age?
No.
How do you know that?
Because that information would have been brought to light by multiple administrations and FBI investigators over the course of the last 20 years.
Well, you know what? That's just not true, because no one knew about the creepy birthday message that Donald Trump wrote to Jeffrey Epstein until the Wall Street Journal disclosed it, and then all of a sudden, the Epstein estate provides it to Congress.
Well,
so certainly, you weren't there at the search. You don't know what Epstein may or may not have done with those photographs even prior to the search. Maybe someone has it. Maybe the Epstein estate has it.
You raise a great point.
So I'm going to ask you, have you asked to talk to Michael Wolff?
You raise a great point. I haven't personally asked to talk to Michael Wolff.
Has the FBI asked?
But the FBI, I'll get back to you if the FBI specifically
so Michael Wolff has
ever.
About 100 hours of testimony of Jeffrey Epstein. Wouldn't it be good for the FBI to interview Michael Wolff?
I'm not saying they haven't. I just don't know.
Has FBI subpoenaed the tapes that Michael Wolff has conducted of Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know.
Let's talk about this guy.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files.
In the case file.
Head of the FBI, Kash Patel.
FBI Director Kash Patel getting grilled this week after firing a team of counterintelligence experts just days before the U.S. attacked Iran. Each of the fired agents also happened to work on Donald Trump's classified documents case, raising new concerns of political retaliation.
Why did you fire at least a dozen agents in Counterintelligence Unit 12 that specializes in Iran counterintelligence, which makes us much less secure and safe with this war going on from Iranian attacks potentially against our country?
As I said earlier, Congressman, I don't work on timelines when these terminations occur. There are internal investigations conducted by the careers at the FBI that highlight unethical or inappropriate conduct, and it's up to me to make the decision. But our Iran Threats Mission Center has never been more resourced, as I've highlighted.
The intentional incompetence
is the refusal to fund the functions of the Department of Homeland Security, including Homeland Security investigations, making Americans less safe.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, thank goodness for that.
Do you think Elon Doge's opinion would be on spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to send cash to drink beer with hockey players? So I really am not going to dip too much into this because this is kind of my whole point. But what I will say is the Bureau has long been in charge of providing security for the Olympics. And that's what was happening. So I think that we should be probably more concerned with the fact that, you know, the Democrats were trying to spend millions of dollars to see if mice can be transgender, and the fact that that has stopped.
Dan, that was security. That was security provision you saw in that locker room.
Yes, that is. He did a great job. I mean, he was definitely securing that beer he was chugging, looking incredibly awkward as he does in every public setting Kash Patel's ever been in for his entire life. I mean, you're right. This is the sort of scandal that in a different administration would dominate the news for weeks, would be the end of this person. You'd have members of the party calling for them to resign. And yet it's just one more beat in a parade of horribles happening.
Could this be more embarrassing? And guess what? This you-know-what show is just continuing on.
He has enlisted the help of UFC cage fighters to train FBI agents this weekend at their academy in Quantico, Virginia. Kash Patel is possibly feeling pressure to do something after abusing FBI resources and taxpayer dollars to fly to the Olympics and guzzle beer, and then fire dozens of FBI agents and experts with experience in counterintelligence in Iran. But turning to the UFC, run by a close friend of Donald Trump's, is something that Kash Patel brought up on one of his first video calls as director of the FBI. And according to the Wall Street Journal, many officials thought that he was joking. Kash Patel wasn't joking. Patel, sports obsessed and inexperienced as he is with this whole leading the world's premier law enforcement agency thing, sees this weekend as a, quote, tremendous opportunity for the FBI agents where they will, quote, learn and train with some of the greatest athletes on earth.
So the UFC is now training FBI agents. let's just pause the piece for a second, all right? Because I have 2 more videos to show you. This is so stupid. Like, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. Think about this in perspective, right? We have so many FBI agents. How many of them really are going to go and have like their own Steven Seagal exit wounds moment? Like, come on, man. This is so stupid. This is so unbelievably stupid. I think it is very important, all right, for a lot of people to have some sort of workout routine. I think it is so healthy. It fights aging. It has proven to help human beings, not just in the present, but in the long run as well. It helps your muscles and your bones and your psyche. Like, it's amazing. And if they wanted to do this with FBI agents on their own time, I think this is great. You know, do whatever you wish. And we're not even talking about the existence of the FBI. We're just talking about if they wanted to go train with Justin Gaethje on their own time, like, cool. Like, you're doing that. Do they think they're really going to be deployed and have their Schwarzenegger moment? Like, this is what little boys think of when I'm going to go fight crime. And I'm going to hit him, I'm going to raise to a black belt, and then I'm really going to take him down. Anyway, here's Luke.
If no one else has asked yet, we might as well ask Luke if he's heard about the news that the FBI will be having agents train with UFC fighters. But the UFC isn't political. It's like, first of all, how much more government money is the UFC getting for this? Number one. Second of all, what the does this even mean? The amount of agents in in the FBI who would need to have MMA training relative to the total amount of FBI agents. So Matt Stoller was talking about this. FBI agents are vastly more likely to use computer terminals to trace money laundering than they are to work on their hand-to-hand combat.
In turn, there's a report from Axios, which is even dumber. Remember this?
We're going to have a UFC fight. Think of this on the grounds of the White House.
The fighters are going to walk out of the Oval Office.
We're literally going to take over Washington, D.C. that week.
President Donald Trump dropped jaws at the kickoff of America 250 in July of last year when he first announced the unprecedented event as part of the year-long celebrations.
He's like, I think we should do a fight here at the White House. And I was like, okay, I'm in.
The fights are set to take place on Donald Trump's 80th birthday on Sunday, June 14th, which is also Flag Day. But if cage fighting at the home of the leader of the free world on his birthday didn't sound crazy enough, that's just scratching the surface of the wild plans in store for the unprecedented event and how it will run.
So it was announced that the White House is going to host a UFC event on Trump's birthday. I hate to break this to all of you, but he and I have the same birthday. We do. We do. Flag Day. We do. Maybe I should hold my counter to all of this. That would be fun. So, in hilarious fashion, donors, lobbyists, members of Congress, and well-connected fans are clamoring for tickets. There will be 5,000 VIP seats around the UFC's famed Octagon on the White House South Lawn. Many tickets will go to military personnel, leaving perhaps just a couple thousand and far fewer cage side for the well-connected. This is going to be Hunger Games 2.0. That's what it is. This is not going to be some amazing event. They're going to try and throw in a bunch of crowd shots. Maybe they'll even have some military personnel cage side to be like, yes, we care about the troops. They don't. They don't. This is a man who, according to The Atlantic, called dead soldiers suckers and losers. This is a man who dodged the draft. This is a man who used his family connections to get out of serving in Vietnam. This is a man who mocked John McCain for being captured. Don't do this. Don't play this right now. And Republicans are just falling in line with it. How I view this spectacle is very, very simple, okay? Donald Trump and other Republicans view our tax dollars as a piggy bank. And what they want to do is go into the piggy bank as many times as they possibly can. Trump suing the Justice Department and Pam Bondi and everybody being like, oh yeah, take $200 million. Cool with us. What we need to understand is there is so much money that we pay through taxes. And what Trump is doing is essentially reimbursing Dana White for allowing him the space not only to operate, but make his comeback after the January 6th insurrection. Because nobody, even though he already spoke at the RNC twice to Dana White, what we need to also comprehend is no league wanted to touch him. The PGA canceled events at his courses for good reason. But you know who didn't? Dana White. Dana White and the UFC. And they have allowed this entire sport to turn into an alt-right cesspool of bigotry and hatred. So what Trump is doing is saying, oh, these contracts, in my view, these contracts that we could dole out because of the tax money that we have on hand, take it. Go for it. Come up with a number. And we'll just inflate it like we did with my courses when I go and stay there over the weekend. I'm just going to raise the prices so my properties make more money. 3 times, 4 times what they're actually worth, whether it's a drink, green fees, cart fees, food, etc. Doesn't matter. Gas for the golf carts, all of it. So once you realize the way that they go about spending this sort of money, you'll understand why they're putting this on. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.